Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show you guys this new thing that we got from Amazon. It's a bead seater, and Kyle's bike is flat and it's off the rim. I don't know if you guys could see it clearly here. We're gonna try this bead seater that we got from Amazon and see how well it works. We are not sponsored by these people.
Oh, it's stuck. There we go. Okay.
And you need an air compressor with this setup. Okay, it's easier to have the bike on the center stand.
So we've used this air compressor to fill up this bead seater tank, and I filled it to 100 psi because the tank recommends somewhere between 85 to 116. So that's about halfway in the middle. But I got to thinking that this is a front motorcycle tire, which is pretty small, and this is on the larger end of bead seaters that was being sold. So I'm probably going to reduce it down to the lower end of that, like 80, 85 psi, just because I don't want to accidentally overfill the motorcycle tire and have it blow up while we're seating the bead, essentially. And if that ends up not being enough, then, well, no harm, no foul. I can always just fill it up higher and do it again. So for now, I'm going to take this pretty far down. It's got a bubble in the gauge there, so I got to stand it up to see. But what are these tick marks here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are 10 each. So we're at like 85. Okay, so that's like 80-ish right there. So again, I just don't want to explode the tire, which I don't think it will, but you know, tires are expensive. So and the do is I've hooked this thing up, this standard tire air compressor filler, and it's got a trigger. Now of course it's not doing anything right now because the tire's off the bead, but I'm going to use these rubber bands to pull this trigger closed. That way when I seat the bead, the air is already flowing through there, and it'll start to inflate the tire. And I'm just going to put it right on the edge of it there, so that way I can flick it off real easily in the event that the tire starts to get overfilled, which I don't think it will, but I've never seated a bead on a small front motorcycle tire before. So as soon as I hook this up, the air is going to start flowing. It's not going to start inflating because the tire is off the rim, but what's probably going to happen is the air compressor is going to kick on and start pumping more air here pretty quickly. So this will be the last time I talk before we do it. So this is the bead seater. It's at 100-ish psi, right? Or I'm sorry, 80-ish psi right now. 80-ish. The way we'll use it is we'll just sandwich this little bit in between the tire there, and theoretically when I let loose this butterfly valve here, all this air should come rushing out, and then it should actually blow this back out, pop it back out, and seat the tire. So that's the way it's supposed to work in theory. Again, this is a really small tire in terms of tires as they come, like lawnmower tires, truck tires, things like that. So I'm not sure how this much of a gap here between the tire and the bead will play out, but we'll see. So it's going to get loud. I've turned the regulator way down on this to the pressure that I actually want the tire to be at. That way, in case I'm not able to get it off fast enough, it won't flow beyond that. So I think that's important, because the last thing you'd want to be doing is trying to fiddle with the rubber band to get it off and have this set at like 125.
And blow up the tire.
Because of course it's going to blow the tire up.
Yep.
So this way it shouldn't go above that. So time to start doing. You should put safety glasses on so you don't get...
Safety glasses, earplugs. Okay. That was fast, guys. Look.
So
and as you saw the video, it was really fast.
It seems like it worked. The key is to flip that butterfly valve really quick. No hesitating. It's all the way on. I think that because of the way the spokes are with this nipple here being right on the cross section of two spokes, I think I can't get a good bite on it with this. So in the past, I've actually used this little 90-degree guy or 75-degree guy. But I think it worked. I think it seated it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I turned down the pressure on it and didn't use the max there. But I think what I'm going to do is use this guy to charge him up.
Yeah.
So this is a classic. Never goes out of style. Always works. Doesn't require batteries. This little 75-degree chuck thing works great for these tires. I carry it with me actually inside the seat because when I go to a gas station, oftentimes they have this thing and it just doesn't work. In terms of price, the dealership, the local BMW dealership, who we like and we've heard very good things about from family, they have pretty decent prices for California, and they wanted $100 to receive the bike with the tire on it to get the bead seated, or they said if we took the tire off and brought it into them, it would be $50. Now to bring the bike in with the tire on it for $100, that required an appointment. They were 2 to 3 weeks out in terms of appointments. If you take it off and you want to pay the $50, then you could just drop it off by 10 a.m. and pick it up the next day.
You also have to accommodate for your time and gas to go there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this tank, I think, was $10 on
yeah, this
Amazon
tank
at the moment.
This tank is 60, 70 bucks.
Which again, not sponsored by them, just happened to buy it.
Yeah. If you guys do want to get your own, I would have the link in my website under gear I use, and it would be under bike accessories
and I'm sure it'll be
tools.
in the description here
yeah,
too,
it would be in the description.
But it worked great. It has an operating range of 85 to 116. I had it on the very low end of that, probably 85-ish. And I think it did a wonderful job here. I noticed on the electric gauge, right when the bead seated, it had about 20 PSI already in it or so from the bead seater tank. So I am actually glad that I toned it down from mid-range to low range. Otherwise, I think it probably would have been right at the max when it seated.
It's, I know a lot of you guys here are DIYers, and this is fairly easy, and the equipment is fairly decent price, as you already heard from us. So once again, we're not sponsored by them, and so far we've only used it today, so I cannot vet on how long the longevity is, but you know, Amazon stuff, like hit or miss.
Oh, look at this actually. So one of the reviews said that the fittings come loose from the factory, and I wondered why it was leaking, and it turns out that they are a little bit loose from the factory. So maybe if you buy it, just tighten everything up before you use it. I didn't do that, so there we go.
If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comment section below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and ride safe, everybody. Bye.
Eye protection.